Have you ever found yourself drawn to someone who seems, well, a little distant, maybe even a bit prickly on the surface, but you just have this gut feeling that there's an entire universe of depth waiting underneath? Well, today we're diving into one of the most profound and, let's be honest, puzzling dynamics in love, the melancholic partner. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of the melancholic heart? Let's get into it.
And this question, it really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Are they the most fiercely devoted soulmate you could ever hope to find, or are they a beautiful puzzle that feels almost impossible to solve? The truth is, they're both. They are a living, breathing paradox. And it's right there, in that paradox, that you find their unique, incredible beauty.
Here it is, the core contradiction laid bare. What you see on the outside, the appearance, is often a reserved, quiet exterior. It can even feel like a protective wall. But the reality, for the very few who are ever invited inside that wall, is a world of staggering depth, of unshakable loyalty, and a sensitivity so fine-tuned it's almost like a superpower.
Okay, so let's start peeling back the layers of this fascinating paradox. We're going to start with that tough outer shell and the precious pearl that's hidden deep inside.
First things first, what exactly is a melancholic? This isn't some trendy new label. The idea is ancient. It literally goes all the way back to the Greeks. But modern psychology, thanks to a psychologist named Hans Eisenach, gives us a really clear way to understand it. He saw the melancholic personality as the meeting point of two core traits, high introversion and high neuroticism. This little chart maps it out perfectly. See? On one axis, you've got introversion. That's a deep focus on one's own internal world. And on the other axis, you have neuroticism, which is really just a way of saying deep emotional sensitivity. And right there, where those two intersect, you find the melancholic. Thoughtful, reserved, and absolutely wired for intense feeling. And let's be really clear here, this isn't just a bad mood. It's their fundamental wiring. It is so easy to mistake their quiet reserve for coldness, to think that they're made of ice. But that's not it. Not at all. A much, much better way to think of it is fragile glass. It might seem rigid and hard, sure, but that rigidity is just a defense for something incredibly delicate on the inside, something that can be easily shattered. And this explains their whole approach to the social world. They aren't antisocial, they are profoundly selective. They're not trying to collect 1,000 friends on social media, they are searching for one or two true connections. For them, small talk is absolutely exhausting because it just skims the surface. They want to dive deep. And of course, it's so easy for the rest of the world to misread this as being aloof or even rude when really it's just about protecting their energy. But here's the secret. This is the big reveal. If you can patiently move past that barrier, if you can actually earn their trust, you unlock their superpower, a loyalty so deep it's almost mythical. Eisenach himself captured this perfectly. Their distance is a filter, you see. But once you're welcomed into that tiny inner circle of intimate friends, all the walls just dissolve. And think about what that means. You're not just another person in their life, you are part of an inner sanctum, a connection that they will protect with everything they have. For the melancholic, love is never a game. It's a masterpiece they're trying to create. They are perfectionists, always striving for a truly ideal union, a complete meeting of minds, hearts, and souls. So when they finally choose you, they are investing their entire being into building that profound connection.
But this exact same sensitivity that allows for such incredible depth also creates a profound vulnerability. To truly love a melancholic, you have to understand their secret wound, what the brilliant therapist Dr. Sue Johnson calls the raw spot.
I want you to imagine a place on your body where the skin is paper thin. That's a raw spot. It's a point of extreme emotional hypersensitivity, often shaped by past hurts, where their deep need to feel safe and seen was ignored or dismissed. It's the trigger point for their deepest fears, the fear of abandonment and the fear of rejection. And just watch how this plays out in this devastating little cycle. It all starts with a completely neutral cue. Your partner is quiet, maybe a text goes unanswered for an hour, but their mind, which is always scanning for threats, interprets this through that raw spot and immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion. They're mad at me, I've done something wrong, they're going to leave me. That thought triggers immense pain, and the only defense they know is to pull back, to shut down, to protect that wound. So when they seem to be holding a grudge or bringing up something from weeks ago, it is not coming from a place of malice. It's because their emotional wounds just heal on a different timeline. The feelings are so intense, so visceral, that the memory doesn't just fade. They can't just get over it, because for them, the injury still feels very, very real.
Okay, so if that's the wound, then what's the cure? How do you reach them when they're hurting and have pulled away? Well, there is one, and only one, antidote. It's not advice, it's not logic, it's empathy.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. When your melancholic partner is hurting, they're not asking you to fix it. They don't want you to turn on the lights or tell them it's not so bad. What they need is to know that you are willing to just sit with them in the dark, without judging them. They need to feel that your presence is bigger than their pain.
Let's just compare the two paths here. The fix-it approach is our natural instinct. We've all done it, right? We want to make the pain go away, so we offer solutions or we say, don't worry about it. But to them, that feels like you're dismissing their reality. The empathy approach, on the other hand, it's transformative. Simple words like, wow, that sounds really hard, validate everything they're feeling. It says, I see you, I hear you, and I'm not scared of your darkness.
Without this empathy, couples get stuck in this really painful dance. It's called the protest polka. It goes like this. One partner feels the distance and starts pushing for connection. Talk to me, what's wrong? That's the demand. The melancholic partner feels this as an attack on their raw spot, and they withdraw even further to protect themselves. And the more one pushes, the further the other pulls away, just spinning faster and faster into disconnection.
So, how do you stop the music? How do you break these cycles and build a bridge back to each other's hearts? Well, let's get into the practical wisdom that can truly transform your relationship.
Okay, if you love a melancholic, your number one mission is to become their safe haven. This means really understanding that their need for solitude isn't a rejection of you. It's how they recharge their batteries. It means not forcing them into big, overwhelming social scenes. And most of all, it means learning the map of their raw spots and always approaching with gentleness, reassuring them that even when they're quiet, you are there and you're not going anywhere.
And if you are the melancholic in the relationship, your work is to learn how to open the gate just a little. This means finding the words for your needs. I just need some quiet time to process is an invitation. Go away is a wall. It means taking the incredibly brave risk of sharing your real feelings and trying to challenge that powerful assumption that a neutral expression on your partner's face is automatically a judgment against you.
The great psychoanalyst Carl Jung reminds us of a really profound truth. A real connection isn't built on our strengths. It's actually forged in our vulnerability, in the acceptance of our own imperfections, and in our willingness to hold a safe space for the imperfections of the one we love.
You know, maybe the most beautiful way to look at all of this is through the Japanese art of kintsugi. When a piece of pottery breaks, they don't throw it away, and they don't try to hide the cracks. They meticulously mend them with gold lacquer. The whole philosophy is that the piece becomes more beautiful and more valuable for having been broken. The lines of repair, the healed wounds, become a celebrated part of its history, making it completely unique and precious.
Look, let's be real, this can be a high-maintenance love. It asks for immense patience. It demands empathy. But the return on that investment is a treasure, a depth of loyalty, a profound intimacy, and a resilient, golden-veined connection that you will simply never find anywhere else. So the final question is, are you brave enough to love a melancholic? The answer just might change your life.